their dream of going abroad and taking education there. We have tie-up arrangements in almost now more than 20 countries and with more than 500 plus universities. Students are going for various courses like commerce, engineering, medical, hotel management, tourism, fashion designing. So almost all types of courses are available with us. So students are going abroad by taking these services from INTEREDWISE education. Um, we have branches spread in Maharashtra. We have branches in Karnataka. We have branches in Gujarat. And importantly, now recently we opened one branch in London also. So now truly we are a international company, and I think now students not only from India but from abroad also, they would be taking the benefit of the services which are being provided by our company. So now students, you are, I know you are working, you are studying very hard because your NEET exam is going to be scheduled very soon. I think it is going to happen somewhere around 26th or 27th of June. And later on in 1 month, in the month of July, you will get your result. After getting the result, those who are scoring around 550 plus, I hope somewhere they will get admission in the government colleges, because government medical colleges, as you know, number of seats available are around 36,000, and total number of NEET aspirants in India is around 16 lakhs. So it means only 2.2% students would be getting admission in government medical colleges. And if you fail to score 550, 560, then you will have to think about the other options. Uh, if you are looking for private colleges, then the fee is very, very high. Then that is also not affordable. Then here is the option, which is, I think, you most would like to know from ourselves. So today, actually, we invited a few universities from abroad who have actually, we are associated with these universities, and many students from our company have already are already studying there. Today, St. Martinus University from Curacao, their representatives are joining with us from USA. One university from Georgia is also joining with us, and I think one university from Philippines is also joining. So I know you have some questions, doubts in your mind, but with this seminar, at the end of this seminar, all your doubts would be cleared, and you will be able to take a very good decision for your career as far as your career is concerned. With these words, now I invite Kamendra sir to forward this session.
Hello
Over
everybody,
to you.
welcome for the webinar, and thank you for a very good response. We got many participants in this webinar, and few panel members are there. Today we have the sequence like, first of all, Mr. Amol will take a session on Our Lady Fatima of Philippine. He will explain all the inside and outside of the course program, benefits, and the future of the student after completion of program. After that, Soleme will join us from Georgia. She is from Caucasus International University, and she will brief about the Georgian medical education, fee structure, duration of the course, validity of the course, and opportunities after completion of the course. After that, 5 o'clock, Mr. Lalit Arora, CEO of St. Martinus University, and Dr. Bharata, faculty and additional dean of St. Martinus University, will join us and they will continue till 5:30 with us. After that, we'll have question answer session. So you can ask question. If you are having question, you can just type in the question and answer box. And definitely we'll consider all the questions and will revert to everybody, whatever query, whatever question you are having. So we'll try to give satisfactory answer. Now I invite Mr. Amol. Please speak about the Philippine medical education, and you have the PPT, so you can share your screen as well. Amol, please.
Yes, a minute, I'm just sharing the presentation.
Your voice is not audible, Amol.
Yeah, there was some technical error now. Yes, now the voice is okay, sir.
Yes.
Uh, a small request, maybe I've just shared it with you. Yes. The PPT, the latest one. Of $5,000 per month for doing your PG in US. Another aspects, climatic conditions. Well, other countries in the northern Europe, they're quite cold. But here, Philippines, the climatic conditions are as similar to India, so the students of India are very much comfortable. And this is true, in this part of the continent. Close to India as compared to US and Australia. So every year the students can come home for celebration of festivals, or maybe their family members can join. Because it's close to India, so flight tickets also not that expensive as compared to US or other countries. Easy student visa process. Philippines has one of the easiest visa processes, which makes it 100% successful as far as our company is concerned. Can we move on to the next slide, please? So you see Philippines, the map of Philippines is there. It's a small country, but very much developed one. You can see it's a cluster of islands and joined together. And they have a very good transportation and facilities for mobility. We'll go to the next slide now. Now, what makes Our Lady of Fatima University? Let us see the facts and figures about this university. So this university, Our Lady of Fatima, is recognized by World Health Organization as well as Medical Council of India. One very important aspect as far as Indian students are concerned. This is a MCI approved institution. Then the MBBS duration is 6 years, including your internship. That is mandatory. Medium of instruction. This medium of instruction is English, so you need not learn any other language. You should be good in English. The criteria, minimum 50% in HSC and physics, chemistry, biology. That is the 10 plus 2 with 50% physics, chemistry, and biology, and 60% in English. So your English language should have at least 60% marks at your HSC level, and the rest can be 50%. And this also follows the parameters of Medical Council of India. So they are the guidelines where a student needs to have 50% marks in HSC at the PCB level. Tuition fees. Now, this tuition fees, if you see 6,500 USD per year, this is the tuition fees, which is very easily affordable as and low as compared to I'll prefer this over paying donations in India. So this is a very good figure and very affordable and economical figure. Let's come to the living expenses now. Living expenses range. I mean, this is the average range between $160 to $200 per month. We have taken the calculation in dollars so that everyone is familiar, because in Philippines they use the Philippines peso. So one USD, so 160 to 200 USD per month. Hostel accommodation facility is available, and with those concerned for security, yes, security is available on hostel accommodation. Important aspect, IELTS not mandatory. If you have studied from English medium of instruction and have 60 marks in English, no need of an IELTS. NEET exam. So this is very important question. A lot of students ask, sir, is NEET compulsory? Now, NEET is an Indian government requirement or Indian medical requirement. So if you are planning to maybe move overseas permanently or maybe work there, you don't want to come and practice in India, NEET is not required. Alternatively, NEET pass marks. So you just need to score pass marks in your NEET. So you are eligible to come back to India and practice here, of course, after the exams. Admission processing time, very less admission processing time, which is 45 days, 45 to 60 days. So it's that quick. And coming to the intakes, January and September. So the Indian students usually, those who are making up their mind, they will not let go the September intake. And for those who are waiting to get into government colleges but cannot, they can definitely go for the next available intake. Okay, that is the January intake. So there is a heavy rush in September as well as the January intakes. Now, Philippines, our Lady of Fatima University has one of the most modern training equipment available. And this is fact from the results they have been producing year in, year out with regards to the passing ratio in terms of the US and India as well. We'll see the next slide now. Recognition. Very, very important, and I request all of you to please pay attention to this. The College of Medicine of Our Lady of Fatima University is fully accredited by the New York State Education Department, now allowing the students, fourth-year students, to render their clerkship in accredited training hospitals in New York and Illinois State Board of Education, which means the students in the fourth year, they can go to the US in the state and they can finish their clerkship or internship, what we say, in Illinois State Board of Education. So that also is a very beneficial factor for those who are aspiring to make a career in the United States as well. The university has sent over 100 plus medical students for clinical clericship training at the Peninsula Hospital Center in the New York. So the Peninsula Hospital Center, it is tied up with this university, and every year it accepts more than 100 students, those who are willing to do practice and internships over there as a part of the training curriculum. So this hospital, Jackson Park Hospital, again it's in Chicago, and Harper Hospital is there in Baltimore. Qualifications are recognized by the Medical Council of India, World Health Organization, Education Commission for Foreign Medical Graduates, USA, which makes it a most favorable option for practicing in the US at a later stage. Now, International Medical Education Directory and Philippines Education Ministry. So that is the recognition part. So anyone has any concerns with regards to the recognition or the validity of the program or the content, I hope things are clear now. Next slide, please. Curriculum. One of the most important factors is the curriculum. Now, Philippines, fortunately, they follow the US-based curriculum. So that's very important. So 18 months for the bachelor's degree program leading to NMAT. Okay, so they follow this 18 months of a bachelor's degree because Indian students are usually +2, that is HSC. The American requirements is that you should be a bachelor's degree holder. So you can say that it's a foundation program for you for 18 months leading to NMAT exam. That's a local examination over there in Philippines, followed by 4 years medical program after passing NMAT. So 18 months, and then you have to prepare yourself for the NMAT exam. Then later on, you also have 4 years medical program followed after passing the NMAT exam. So NMAT exam is compulsory. So that's the local licensing examination over there. 1 year internship is mandatory, which like as well. So all these parameters makes you eligible for the award of medical, doctor residency program. So that's what after completion of these programs in the Philippines, students can progress to the US for PG residency. Now, after doing a bachelor's degree, definitely there is a huge segment of students who would like to make it to the PG. And the PG in US is not free. So you get paid for doing a PG in the US residency, and you're paid a stipendary allowance of $5,000 per month. So this is a lucrative thing and also an affordable option. For example, students nowadays say that, okay, pure MBBS or an MD, what next? So what if I want to do PG? So my friends, This is an excellent option for you to do your PG in the United States and get paid for doing a PG as well. At the rate of $5,000 per month, this is a huge amount. And of course, I need not say that the career prospects after a PG are excellent in the United States. Current scenario as well as in others, because there's a huge shortage of medical professionals in today's scenario. Can we move to the next slide, please? Now, why Our Lady of Fatima? What's so unique about this? So this is something, a piece of admission information or the documentation required. So you need to have at least 60% in HSE from a recognized board from English medium of instructions. Some of the documents required are transcripts of records, police clearance check, okay, letter of financial support from the banks, okay, then certificate of eligibility for admissions, photocopy of the passport. Now these are the standard documents. Our company, INTEREDWISE Education Private Limited, will guide you for the entire process of your admission as well as application and the visa. So you need not worry about it. The list of documents will also be shared with you once you try to register yourself with us. Okay, so end-to-end process, that's what we say, from admissions to visa and visa to post-planting support, we take care of you. Now, some of you may think, what was it NMAT? So NMAT is nothing but National Medical Admissions Test. It is for the College of Medicine students only. Now, this NMAT is conducted in Philippines by the respective body of Philippines. Student visa. One of the important factor a lot of students face is, about the visa factor. Now, let me tell you, Philippines and India share good rapport among themselves, and so the visa norms for Indian students are very liberal. So Indians can travel to Philippines even on a tourist visa and transfer to student visa while in Philippines with the support of the college. Now, this is a unique option because for the students, those who wait till the last moment also, for them also it's very important to know that Philippines government is offering this liberal option to the Indian students, that you can go on a tourist visa, and the college there, the university, will take care of your converting your visitor visa to student visa while you are in Philippines. So you do not have to exit Philippines even after 1 month. Okay. One of the most important factors, all papers must be authenticated by the Philippines embassy. So there's an attestation procedure which our company INTEREDWISE Education will guide you for that. And then the study permits has been processed by the universities with the respective departments. Okay. So this is about the student visa part. It's not that complicated. It's very easy. The Philippine student visa is a very easy process. And also Our Lady of Fatima University provides special language programs to address the needs of foreign students. Now, certain students who may be requiring some type of support in terms of language, even the local language, that is the Philippines. So you will get the support. There'll be some crash courses or some lectures complimentary from the university side, so that you can gel along with the local Philippines. You can speak basic Philippines. No need to have a very fluency, because Philippines is a country where English is the most widely spoken language. So there is no problem at all. But it helps. Like in India, if someone speaks in Hindi or in the local language, we feel more comfortable. So it is just to make you comfortable. Can we move to the next slide? Now, this is something you need to take in mind. Why Philippines? Why Our Lady of Fatima University? So there are n number of universities, but few universities have certain unique options. And fortunately, Our Lady of Fatima University has this option. So students, as I mentioned, they have option to progress to the United States for the PG in the USA. And as mentioned, $5,000 per month, the student will get to complete his PG. Now, upon completion of residency in the US, students can practice without any hindrances, and winning any exam in India, making it the most favorable choice. This is very, very important point now. So you do your residency in the US, you get a United States licensing, that's the medical doctor degree, and as on date, the non-state, you do not have to appear for any exam in India in case you wish to practice here back home. And due to shortage of doctors in the USA, many hospitals offer lucrative employment offers and sponsor work visa. So the chances of you coming back to India and working is very less, because you'll be lured by the hospitals over there with an average salary. Now this is the very average, 1 lakh American dollars per annum is the very average salary. The salary goes to 1.5 plus lakhs American dollars per annum, plus benefits such as free accommodation, transport allowance, as well as family allowance, that is the education of kids. So a lot of hospitals do that sponsorship for you. You don't have to do anything for that. And the visa cost and entire is borne by the hospitals. So this is something which you can dream of. That right now you may not qualify directly for going to US because of financial constraints, but you can use Philippines as a gateway to the US at affordable cost and still make your career in the United States of America, or alternatively, you can come back to India and practice without any hindrance. And believe me, the quality of education is very good there itself. So now we are nearing the end of this session for Philippines. So I'll definitely recommend anyone. Now when it comes to support, a lot of Indian students ask about food, okay, the living conditions. So Indian food is easily available. It is very economical as well. Now a lot of students, they have, the university has their own mess to provide food and meals to the students, of course against a fee, which is very nominal. And alternatively, students can also prepare and cook their own food. Indian food is easily available, so there is no problem over there. And those of you who are non-vegetarians, it's like a heaven for them. So that is something in a nutshell about Philippines, about Our Lady of Fatima. So we have seen how economical it is, how affordable it is. At the same time, how you can make a career in the United States as well. It's a licensing program and a gateway to the US in case you are intending for that. Alternatively, if you wish to come back to India, no exam is required. So with this, I guess we have been able to cover all the aspects about the Philippines. So if you have any queries, feel free to ask, or maybe we can take it up later. Over to you, Kamendra sir, now. Kamendra sir, please unmute yourself. Kamendra sir,
You're on mute, sir.
Thank you very much, Amol.
Yes, sir.
We have delegate from Caucasus International University. Salome, can you please say hi? Hello. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Salome, welcome.
Hello, hope you're all well and staying safe at home.
Yes, we all are safe and hope the same for you. Shall I share the PPT?
Yes, please. Can you start? Or should I share the screen?
You can also, no problem. Yes, that will be more better if you can share that.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello again to everyone. I'm contacting from Georgia. I represent Caucasus International University. I will give you a little bit introduction about the country. Maybe students know that about this country, maybe not. Like, this is a small country situated in the eastern part of Europe. This is a small country, but with the richest culture and tradition, and mainly that it's very safe here to live for international students. So we have many international students living here. While the living standard is very high, the cost of the living is very low, and also the tuition fees are very affordable for international students. Caucasus International University was based in 1995, and it has a very well-equipped campus, very modern infrastructure and technologies for the library campus, for the laboratories where students can practice and gain the technical skills for studying medicine, and which is very much important. University has accreditation locally, and also Georgia as its country is part of Bologna process, which means that any degrees obtained in Georgia is equally recognized in any other European country. Like every degree recognized in any European country based on this agreement are equally recognized. Not only in Europe our degree is recognized, but the university is listed in WHO and it has world recognition, and which is very much important for Indian students. It's also recognized by the Medical Council of India, by MCA, which means that after graduation the university students can sit for their MCA examination, pass this, and after that they can already practice medicine in India. As for the language, like medicine and dentistry, we have in English medium programs in the business school and in the medical school. This webinar is for the medical students. I will focus on medicine and dentistry programs. Like for the medicine, we offer MBBS course, which is the 6 years medical course, and students lasts for the 12 semesters. Qualification obtained after completion of this program is medical doctor's qualification. They can already be, can start working as a junior doctor in India after passing their MCA examination, and if they can possibly obtain 60 or 75 credits in a year. And also every student joining the program will learn the basics of Georgian while their studies. It's part of their study program, but if they want to get more qualifications, they can also study as extra subjects, subject Georgian language, and get from A1 to A1 is the mandatory level, and from A2 to B1 level they can also study the language. The student is awarded with the qualification of medical doctor and of a diplomized medical practitioner. The main structure of the program is that it contains general mandatory study courses, specialty mandatory study courses, scientific skills mandatory courses, clinical specialty elective courses, and general elective courses. In the general elective courses, they can select from the wide range of subjects they want. Here we can see show the main modules the student can select and specialize in any module they are interested in. Which is very much important. Not only as international students are involved in general studies of the medical degree program, but they are involved in other extracurricular activities. They can participate in scientific projects. We have present main grant projects where foreign students are also wanted and are part of this grant projects. Also, there are many international conferences and workshops in English medium where students can take their part and to prepare for these conferences, workshops, and meet other students worldwide. As I mentioned before, like we are part of European education system, which means that the university has many partners within European countries, many universities, and within the Erasmus exchange program, medical students can apply for the exchange program where they can spend their semester or an year in other European universities and study there and gain experience in other countries as well. The requirements for admission are very simple. Like we need the passport copy of the students. We will need their high school completion certificate, and the requirements are also very minimal. 50% overall score will be enough for international students. Also, which is very important for them, that we do not require international language certificate, IELTS or TOEFL. Students can apply without that, while the knowledge of English is mandatory, and students will have the Skype interview during their admission procedure. Well, once we receive their application documents, we will invite them for a Skype interview to test their English knowledge and to test their motivation to study in Georgia and to study the medical program. High school completion certificate and photos will be enough. Then these documents are then prepared and translated in Georgian, notarized and submitted at Ministry of Education of Georgia for further proceedings. Let me give you a little bit information about the hostel facilities for students, and then I will go through step-by-step admission procedure. Apart from the studies, we also have very good offer for international students, mainly for international Indian students. There is a hostel facility nearby university, which is around 10 minutes away from my university, and here students are able, international Indian students are living here, and they have a possibility to have Indian meals in this hostel, and they have very local Indian environment here. So the post-landing services are offered here that we coordinate with all students and help them with all needful proceedings in Georgia, which is related to their pickup, their placement at hostel, city orientation tour, and also for their application and residency permit arrangements in Georgia. The hostel is very safe. It's a newly built hostel. There are separate places for boys and girls, and as I mentioned, 3 times Indian meal is provided for students, and it's very safe. It has 24-hour security. They're very nice and clean environment. Apart from all studies, you can see that at Caucasus International University, there are many clubs, there are many groups, football teams, sports, and other type of activities where students can take part, musical bands, and so on. So they can have very interesting student experience and very interesting student life at Caucasus International University. As far as related for the admission procedure, like I will tell that, as I mentioned, we have very few requirements for admission. And after we receive all these required documents, we process for the admission, which will take around 4 weeks time for students to get their final admission letters. And after that, they make their application for the study visa of Georgia, which is also assisted by us, and we will help students all the procedures related for their study visa application. We will help them to fill up their visa application forms. We will help them and guide them in terms of preparing their visa required documents. And visa required documents are also simple apostilled documents of academics required. They should have the financial statements, and financial statements must be with the tuition fee plus around 4,000 USD for the living expenses in Georgia. As for the tuition fees, let me share you the screen. Sorry, I could not find the possibility to share this extra file, but the fees for the medical program, the medicine in Georgia, is 5,500 USD for all consecutive years, and fees for the dentistry will be 4,800 USD for the first year, and it will be only 4,500 USD for the next years. International students always ask also about the tuition fees parts, which are payable before visa and which are payable after visa. Like students have to pay as for the tuition part only 300 USD non-refundable tuition fee as the initial charge, and all fees are then paid after the visa, which is very secure for them. And as for the visa, like all students meeting the minimum criteria and knowing the English language well enough to study, they all like can get visa very easily. And we have almost 100% visa rate, and students will get the visa in around 30 days time. In this session, like in March session, we could not receive international students because of this problem with COVID-19, but we could arrange the online distance learning very well for international students, so that they could join the studies very safely from their home countries. So we support and help all the students in any way possible, and they can always contact us with all the questions they have, and we are here to help them with all the procedure related to the admission, related to the visa, and post-arrival services. As for the education, I already explained that degrees are worldwide recognized, and they have very high chances also to spend their time not only in Georgia but in other European countries, and the degrees are recognized worldwide. So it was shortly about the programs and the university, and very shortly about the country. If anyone will have any questions, I'm free to answer the questions. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. It was very informative and useful. Students, if you have any question, you can just write in the question box. Before starting the next session, she will answer all the questions. If you have any question about Caucasus International University, about Georgian medical education or maybe dental education, about the post-study opportunities, what a student can do after completion of MBBS or MD program from CIU. Any question you are having, what about USMLE preparation or MCI preparation, you can ask to her, and she will reply to you.
So there is one question in chat box.
Yeah.
So the student does not have to give MCI test to practice in India?
No, like university is listed in MCA, which means that international graduate is allowed to sit for the MCA test, but they will have to pass the MCA test when they come back to India. And they can also attend extra classes, which can prepare them for MCA examination. It's offered to high semester students, in addition to easily pass the tests for the MCI examinations.
Right. So MCI is mandatory after completion of the program if students are willing to practice back in India.
Yes, it's the local requirement in India that every student completing abroad, they must pass the MCI test.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes, next question is there. What percentage of students are able to get in US MD program?
USMD program, like you mean the master degree program, right?
They are asking about residency in US.
Well, students can also, like here is a part of the university studies. It's not a part of the university studies, the USML examination preparation, but they can, in addition, prepare for the USML examination, and then they can apply for their MD program in US. And in every other country, like in Europe as well, the degree itself at obtained at Caucasus International University, it's recognized in any country, and also in Europe, but every country has its own requirements there. Like as in India, to practice, they must pass local tests. It's also the same in other countries, in European countries. They must pass the local examination to be able to practice in any other country. But they can, with our degree, they can submit their degree and certificate, and they are allowed to sit for this examination. But in order to practice abroad in any other country, they must meet the minimum requirement there, which is to pass their local like tests or whatever they have, and after that they will be able to follow their MD programs.
There is a next question. She's asking, can you put a slide of course fees?
I was 1 moment, please. Yeah. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can.
So as you see, like the fees are fixed for the MBBS program, but for the dentistry course, the first year fee is higher, but the consecutive years fees are less than the first year fee, and it will be only 4,500 USD for the next year for the BDS program. And also I mentioned shortly that we offer English medium programs at business school as well. So we have bachelor and master programs in business if anyone is interested.
Okay.
Yeah, my question is that for a student required to give a IELTS or TOEFL for admission process, is it required?
No, students don't have to pass any international test for the English. It's not the requirement for admission. They will have a Skype interview before their admission, which will test their knowledge of English and their motivation to study. It's not a very complicated interview, but this to check the minimal, if student meets the minimal standards of knowledge of English to be able to study at university.
Thank you very much. Sir, I think all questions are over.
Sorry?
Yeah, we have covered all questions.
Okay.
Okay.
What about like any requirement is there for immigration side for the IELTS or something?
No, it's not the requirement from immigration side, but students are facing, like we added this requirement, the Georgian Ministry of Education added this requirement for testing students via Skype interviews before, so to ensure that students are meeting the minimum standards for knowing the language. However, some students who have below the 70% in their high school certificate in English, once they submit their documents at VFS Center, they might be asked to write a test or an essay. It's only for students who have less than 70% in their high school certificate.
All right.
Solandy, what about atmosphere, living conditions there in the city? Yeah.
Like you mean to continue the education here, or?
No, he's asking about the weather.
Weather throughout the year, what kind of temperature or?
Weather, like we have 4 seasons here. It's mild temperature, not very cold in winter. It doesn't go minimum 0 in winter. And now in spring we have more like 25, 28 Celsius. So it's quite mild temperature here for students to live. Not very cold as in Northern European countries. It's not very cold here during the winter, and not very hot during the summer. So very mild temperature during all seasons.
Okay.
And what about the hostel facilities?
As I mentioned, we have hostel facilities for Indian students. The fee for the hostel facilities is 250 USD per month, and it contains all fees related to the living and also for their meal. Like as I mentioned, 3 times meal available at hostel, and Indian food is served there. So students, it also includes other costs related to bills and etc. So very affordable fees for the living at the hostel.
Okay. Do you have any USMLE preparation program in campus?
Not in the campus, but in Georgia, like there are centers which prepare students separately. But we might introduce some programs if we have like interested applicants. We can add extra USML preparation for them.
Okay, right. Okay, thank you very much. And yes, on short notice, you are with us and you have provided all the guidance to the students, all participants, and very much thankful to you. You have given total insight of the program and country weather as well. Thanks a lot. And definitely student will get benefit of this, and we are expecting many applications from the students for Caucasus International University. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hope it was helpful, and hope for all this situation, which is now will be over soon, and we will live again freely and safely. And hope meeting you soon, Amar.
Sure. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, all right. So we have covered till now 2 universities. One was from Philippine, and other one is from Georgia, Caucasus International University. I think still the questions for Our Lady Fatima are pending. So Amol, just check those questions. Kundan?
Yes,
Please
sir.
repeat the question for Philippine, cover that.
Yeah, there was one question. What for an MAAT exam is given?
And like how in India we have our NEET as an exam, so NMAT is a type of preparatory exam which is required to practice there in Philippines or to get admission for becoming a doctor, basically. So that is the NMAT exam, national examination by the government of Philippines.
Your video and audio, I think something is wrong with them. Can you please check it? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, please repeat.
So NMAT is basically an examination by the respective body government of Philippines. So they want to make sure that you are the person who is going to become a doctor. So your qualifications, you are checking. It's similar to like how NEET is there in India, why it is required. So it is like a type of assessment exam, which is a mandatory exam. Or as far as the law is Philippines.
So are you, do you mean to say like how NEET is there in India? Similar examination?
No, it is not similar. Basically, NMAT is like an entry because the MBBS requirement in Philippines is similar to that of US. So they also have their own examination. That is,
so like MCAT or UCAT?
Yeah.
One more question is there. In Lady Fatima College, do they help prepare for USMLE exam?
Yes, they do help to prepare for the US exam. Basically, the entire curriculum is based on the US education system. and you also get a residency option in the United States. So all the program itself is a US salary based or structured program. So you don't have to worry about that.
Any other question?
No, sir.
Take chat box as well.
I guess this NMAT is clear because NMAT exam is, it's important or mandatory. It's for studying medicine in Philippines, like we have NEET in India. So that's for those of you benefit that what is NMAT. So it's not something out of the blue. It's similar to our NEET exam. And I don't think so that students have any problem because Our Lady of Fatima is covering it from all aspects. The training or the coaching for that.
If somebody failed to clear that examination, then
can always reappear for that. Whatever the you can reappear for that.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, they can reappear for the exam.
How many times?
The guidelines do not specify much about the attempts. I guess so there may be maximum attempts.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very
So
much.
one more question is there.
Okay.
So in Philippines, they have to spend 18 months prior starting their MBBS?
Yes. Yes, they have to spend.
Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
Good, good.
Mr. Barata.
Yeah, Dr. Barata, how are you, sir?
Yes, we all are fine and hope you are also fine at your age.
We are doing, yeah, at my age, that's a miracle.
What is the effect of Corona?
Well, we have 14 cases, 14 cases confirmed. 12 of them have been resolved. One passed away, the first case ever to be identified on the island, and 2 are in quarantine. So we're doing quite well here. By next month, May 10, the island will reopen.
Okay.
And we will have all of our restrictions relieved, but the borders are still closed.
All right. So, Dr. Barata, we have students from different parts of India today with us. And they would like to know more about the St. Martin's University, the program, and again, the opportunities after completion of the program.
Yes, sir.
Maybe in USA or maybe in India. So can you please put some light on this?
Sure, sure. Okay, so what would you like to know first? What we're doing down here in the midst of COVID-19, or what specifically?
Specifically, basically total program. How is the program, duration of the program, and how it and how it is beneficial for the international student. Start from that, and then you also cover the COVID-19 effect and online delivery of the lectures and
Sure. Well, it's a pleasure to be with you all. So let me give you a little overview. We have an amazing campus in Curacao. It's in a building that's 180 years old. It's a very historic complex. The basic science curriculum, the basic science program is 2 years in Curacao. It covers the standard courses that are required and recognized by international agencies. World Health Organization, ECFMG, MCI, all the organizations that acknowledge the existence of your school. So we have MD1, MD2, first year, MD3, MD4 is second year. In the midst of COVID-19, we have transitioned very successfully from traditional classroom environment over to Zoom remote. And it's in this context, as you see here. The students, our students are from all over. We have mostly from India, as you know. Some of them are in Canada, United States, and a couple in the Caribbean, Bahamas. We have had very good attention, participation, and very good interest, because what we've done very innovatively is try to take the classroom live environment and transition to a lively interactive Zoom session. And here's how we've done it very, very happily. Our professors do standard lecture, but then we also incorporate PBL, problem-based learning, which is an excellent tradition that other universities are using. Our professors, some of our professors are AMEE certified professors, Association for the Advancement of Medical Education, which means, let me put it into this context. If you finish residency and go into a neurology residency, become board certified, that shows that that physician is very well versed in neurology. Same thing with us. If you're AMEE certified, it means you are board certified in that level of education, which is a higher standard than just being a basic physician or a regular professor. So PBL is very well encountered. Also, we've broken the groups into smaller groups. And those small groups have interactive assignments. So they do them in the small group Zoom. When they come back to campus through Zoom, we call it coming back to campus or virtual campus, they do a special presentation on that topic relevant to the course subject. Then another component, the fourth component, is to give them a special presentation where they have to take on the attributes of a professor and explain it. And why is that important? Because when they go to the clinical environment, they have to present amongst 30 other physicians in a grand round setting, or in any other clinical setting where there's group interaction. That's where their interaction is. So we try to have creativity, innovation, and lively excitement. Our teaching method here is not unidirectional. It's multi-directional. That gives the students the main word that we try to emulate, called value. What is the student perceiving as value from our campus? And in that setting, attached to that value, this is how we provide it to them. So that's the synopsis of what we're doing down here. Also, if I can add one other thing, we also have a very strong research and scholarly work program. For example, I'm an international author. One of my PhD specialty is in degenerative brain disease neuropsych. I wrote a medical text reference that's being used in 50 medical school libraries globally. Okay, 50. So here's what I've done, and Lalit's familiar with this. I wrote volume 1 or first edition in 2010. My publisher wants me to write a second edition. I've recruited 6 of our medical students to be on my writing team. So it gets them their names on a published book on a global level. So I'm writing, I have it right now. The manuscript is ready to go to the publisher. 6 students are so eager. I mean, what kind of value will a student have if their name is part of a published work as a medical student? That's unbelievable. That's really unheard of. So that's what we're doing now on that. I have another book coming out, supposed to be out the end of this year, but with all the COVID nonsense, a lot of logistical challenges. So I'm going to slate it for the beginning of next year. I'm writing a book, differential of syndromes, medical syndromes, in a very unique presentation. I have 6 more students on my writing team. So we have other faculty that are very engaged in research and scholarly work. So that's just to give you not only the educational component, but what value can we give to the students on a research component, on a scholarly work component. Our students are well-rounded and they have great educational activities here at SMU FOM. Does that answer your question, sir?
No, it's great job. Basically, at the student age, students are getting opportunity to be on publications. So really,
Yes.
very good work what you are doing, and I'm congratulating to you for that. Uh,
Thank you.
Students are there; those are just they completed +2 or they just written the exam of +2. So they would
Yes,
like
sir.
to know about the program and how easily or how quickly they can complete it, and how it is like how many percentage of the student can successfully complete the basic medical science, and how many percentage of the student they can successfully complete USMLE as well.
Okay, great. Thank you for that question. Okay, so our students in Curacao campus right now, if actually, as per the latest statistics that I'm aware of, is about 98%. We have very few, we have a very low attrition. Attrition not only because of academic, they can't handle the academic program, but there's family concerns, financial concerns. So our attrition is not that heavy. They will, as it's very interesting for me as a professor to see them grow over the semesters, MD1 to MD4. It's amazing to see their growth. And that tells us that they're very invested in their education because they see the end goal. The end goal is to get a doctorate of medicine and go into an amazing residency program. So we have that here. Now, USMLE, all of our exams and our training, in addition to the lecture component, is all USMLE focused. So for example, at their block exams, those questions are USMLE focused. We also use AMBOSS. I don't know if you've heard of AMBOSS. AMBOSS is an excellent ancillary resource. So if we have lecture, which we also do on Zoom, one day a week or one day every other week, depending on the course, we'll bring AMBOSS in to show them and train them what it's going to be like to answer USMLE style questions. Not only to get them to answer the right answer, why did they reduce or why did they choose the wrong answer? Because the success of medicine is not always getting it right. It's why you got it wrong and how you change that. So we train them on that. So AMBOSS is an amazing resource that we use. So I see another question here. What are the university requirements to get into the university? Lalit, can you respond to that, sir?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. What is the degree they're getting after MD1 to MD4? So, Ms. Kavita, the requirements for Indian students is that, first of all, they must have physics, chemistry, biology in +2. And we follow all the guidelines that are, on the Medical Council of India website, first of all. So when I say that, you would have to qualify for the NEET exam, for NEET counseling, in fact, through the NEET exam. And you would have to submit an online application with, your personal statement, your mark sheets, and 2 recommendation letters, and your consultants help you, get all those documents together and send it to the university. The second question is, what is the degree they're getting after? So MD1 to MD4 are 4 semesters of the program, which is a theoretical part, the first 4 semesters. The total duration of the program is 4.5 years for Indian students. So when you say MD1 to MD4, you just finish your basic sciences the first 2 years, and then you start preparing for your USMLE exam, the first part of it. And then you go to the US to do the rest of your studies, which is clinical rotations for about 2 years. So the total duration is about 4.5 years for Indian students. With the requirements, your consultants help you, but I just gave you a brief idea of, just get you an idea of list of documents that you submit with your application. And you can submit your application with any of the, academic achievements, any extracurricular, any leadership qualities or certificates that you have been awarded so far during your academic career. or if you have contributed towards any healthcare or any community services, that also count, and it makes your application look good.
Now, what if student has not given NEET examination? So still can they apply to SMU?
Yes, sir, they can, with the condition that we, again, as I said, that we follow MCI guidelines for when it comes to students applying to St. Martin's University for MBBS admission, and if they wish to come back to India and practice there. Let's say, for example, they don't want to waste their time preparing for NEET exam, and they have no intention to come back to India, and they just want to go to the US or Canada or UK, one of the Western countries, to practice medicine. And in that case, they don't have to. They don't have to take NEET or worry about NEET at all.
Yes. Any other question?
No, sir. There was no, sir. No questions.
Lalit sir, can you please speak about the SMU success rate, admission criteria, and like how student can get into residency matching program, and how university help them, and something about the university hospital in Michigan?
Okay, sure, sir. So the admission criteria, okay, I think there is one more question here. So after MBBS, they can come and practice in India if they have given NEET. Yes, that is true, but you also have to pass the MCI screening test, which all of our students who have graduated and wanted to come back to India have been able. So our MCI screening rate, success rate is 100%. And we can actually, put you in touch with those students who you can talk to and find out how easy or difficult was it for them to prepare for MCI screening test. And I think both of those graduates are practicing in India now. One is in Jammu Kashmir, and I think one is in Delhi or Chandigarh. They're in this north region. So yeah, if you want to talk to them, yeah, we can definitely try to get in touch with them. But because of this current situation and pandemic, they're extremely busy. So if there is a delay, then I would like you to expect you to basically understand that it may not be possible right now, but yes, we will try our best to get you in touch with those graduates to kind of talk to you. There's another question here. What is the age limit to apply for the examination? Sir, is this for examination or admission? I'm a little confused here. If it's the admission, the minimum age to apply for that is 17 years, 6 months. Even if it's 17 years, 3 months or 4 months, 2 months, then we can manage that. Well, actually, no, it has to be 17 years and 6 months for us to apply for the student visa. We cannot apply before that.
Lily, may I also mention, you're talking about clinicals. We're the only Caribbean medical school that owns a hospital in the United States. That's a major differential. Right. Compared to all the hospitals, all the medical schools in the Caribbean, we own Pontiac General. So here's an opportunity. We have a psychiatry residency program and family medicine. If our clinical students year 3 and year 4 are successful in their clinicals and they pass the USMLE, then of course they will probably get an invitation, if they so desire, to pursue one of those residency programs. So they bypass the match. They don't have to go through match. That's a major, major differential compared to any other Caribbean medical school. And I believe that we are expanding our residency programs over time. We're going to have an amazing volume of programs to offer them. So that's one thing I wanted to underscore, which is significant.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Barada.
Yeah.
And let me simplify what Dr. Barada just said, because the residency and match terms are, very typical for the US and Canadian student, but for Indian students to help understand this in their terms. So the way Dr. Barada explained that, now that we're only medical school that owns a hospital in the US that that offers residency programs, and with that said, if you are working with the resident doctors, and you also get an opportunity to interact with the attending physicians or the program directors there, who actually eventually interview candidates to recruit for give them admission into PG, which is residency specialization. You are directly going to be working with them, and if they like you and you work really well with them, then you don't really have to go through the match program, meaning that usually international graduates apply for 200 to 250 programs to expect like 5 or 10 interviews, maybe not even 10, 5 interviews. So the competition is really high. But with St. Martin's University, that goes down to almost none if you are a really good student, and if you're working hard and you have everything that you really need to become a doctor in the US. And if you have been able to pass your exams and you're working well there, there's no reason for anybody or for them to not give you that admission or position in residency program. And it's again a great advantage, and a couple of our students have already been absorbed in this program just because they're really good. And but most of our graduates get residency. The residency is not a problem. The problem is that you have to make sure that you do your part as a student, and we also encourage parents to stay in touch with us, and just to get an update on how their kids are doing and how they're progressing, whether they're passing exams or not. And if you need to interact directly with one of the professors, we can arrange that meeting with the professor as well. But in general case, we don't really have to. You can just speak with one of the administrator or student coordinator, because that's what they do. They get an update from the professor, and they talk to or they update parents on it. And the communications are very open, and it's very transparent. And we also encourage you to have access to the student portal which your kids are using, and so that what they're doing, and the study material they're studying, what kind of schedule they are on, the exams they're taking, the quizzes they're taking, and stuff like that. I think there is one more question here. So the MBBS course it's 4.5 years, Ms. Kavita, for Indian students who have finished high school +2. I mean, when I say high school, the high school in US is +2. So if the student has taken and passed +2 with science courses, the duration of the course is 4.5 years. Internship, there's no concept of internship in the US. All you do, you finish your MBBS, you pass your USMLE exam, you go for specialization, and you start getting paid during your specialization. So of course there is a difference between what you get paid during residency and what you get paid after that, but you start getting paid in the from the first month of your residency. But internship, you would have to do internship if you come back to India. Then you have to do 1 year of internship. But if you do, decide to practice in the US or Canada or UK, there's no concept of internship. You do specialization.
I think they are asking about the clinical rotations.
Well, clinical rotation are for 2 years, and it's divided into 2 parts, which is core rotations and elective rotation. The total rotation that you have to do is number of weeks, 74 weeks. 48 weeks are your core rotations, which is family medicine, internal medicine, psychiatry, OBGYNs, general surgery. And then you do electives, whatever you like. Let's say, for example, you want to become a surgeon, and then you said, I would like to do my electives in anesthesiology. Then you do one with the anesthesiologist, and then you said, I would like to, get 4 weeks of orthopedic surgery or 4 weeks of general surgery. Then you do more, related, electives. And then let's say if you think that you don't like surgery, you would like to go do something, in cardiology, then you go for cardiology rotation. It really depends on what you want to do. And then sorry, it's 74 weeks. Now we had to increase the number of rotations for the accreditation reasons. So the total rotations, the number of rotations that you do is 74, which is approximately 2 years. Mm-hmm.
Anybody is having any other question? Pandey sir, anybody is having question?
Lalit, can you please speak about the hostel facilities and kind of food that is available there for the student?
So the hostel facilities, sir, we have the hostel rooms on campus in the same building, and there is only one entrance that students used to go out and come in, and it is right by the administration office. So anybody who lives on campus, it's very convenient for them to go talk to somebody if there's something that they really want to talk to in the administration office. The administration immigration office is there, the cafeteria is there, all the classes and labs and pretty much everything is there. And they don't have to even walk maybe more than 100 meters, if at all. I mean, just to go to cafeteria even. And for when it comes to cafeteria, and the Wi-Fi is available on campus, so they don't need to, they don't have, when they are on campus, they don't have to buy anything, they don't have to do anything in terms of just the basic facilities. When you go out and rent an apartment or live outside, you have to go and check everything to make sure that you have internet and it's proper, it's safe, and you are you're able to cook your meals and everything. But when you're on campus, you don't really have to worry about anything. The meals are provided in dinner and lunch on campus. These are Indian meals, but Indian meals, when I say Indian food, the students get together and they come up with their own menu. So it's not that there's something is coupled BO, but the only thing that we make sure is that there's enough protein and nutrition in the meal. That's our duty, and that's what we make sure that is available. But other than that, if students want to add something to the menu and everybody likes it, then it gets added. And it's a very ongoing process. We keep changing the menu based on how they like it. And of course, it's very obvious for kids that you can't eat one thing every week, or you don't want to, for that matter. And when that happens, and when all the students come to that stage, then we really call everybody and make the changes to the menu.
Lalit, may I mention one other thing that's very important? We're very sensitive that if students come from whatever country into our university, we have established a mentorship program. The mentorship program is in the MD1s. We align them up with a professor, like a support buddy system. And they develop a very unique, positive relationship, not only for social enforcement and advice, but also for academics. Because there is an assimilation type of challenge that our students will have. So we don't just put them into the student body and let them run and do what they need to do. We make sure that we assess how their academic performance is. If they're having trouble, we have tutors, we have extra sessions, and it's headed by that faculty member. So they have a great support system here. And it just goes to show that the MD1 mentorship program is an important stepping stone for them to be successful through the subsequent semesters at the university.
Right. And I think we have one more question here from Manpreet Sodi. So yes, sir, if there is a delay in the results, yes, there will be delay in admission, but you can apply for the February semester then. Then if you miss the September one, then you can apply for the February semester.
Your mic, please.
All right.
I think Mr. Dahat has a question.
Questions there?
Dahat, your mic, please.
Yeah, basically students are asking if there is a delay in the international borders opening, then how it will happen. If we submit the application and if primary requirements be complete, then can we attain this online lectures?
Absolutely, yes. So, sir, we're working very hard. Our team and professors and deans, we're all working really hard and making sure that the students get the education that they should, even in a live classroom setting. So when I say that, we're adopting to different online teaching strategies and examinations so that we're preparing our students to everything when they normal, and they're able to catch up with everything, and they're even doing more than what they were doing on campus. Now this is the time for everybody to stay home. There is no distraction. There's really not much to do. So this is the time we're all using and strategizing that how to keep our students busy, and what is it that we can do, and what are the teaching methods that we can use so that our students learn more, they do more practice, they write more on subjects, they read more on articles and topics that that build their foundation. Okay, and when you say that when things get back to normal, how it's going to be, the travel wise. So as soon as things get back to normal, everybody will get enough time to prepare for the travel. It's not that if you are in the middle of the semester and then you would have to leave your country and go there within a week's time. No, everybody will get enough time to prepare for the visa, travel, and everything. It's not going to be rushed into traveling. And we also have to make sure that when travel opens up, then we also have to have we will have some sort of a guideline to make sure that you don't get into any trouble when you are when students are traveling or transiting to different countries, because I'm 100% sure that there's going to be some sort of screening and something, and we have to make sure that our students are trained on answering questions that are being asked by the immigration officers or officers who are screening people at the airport. So we will see what happens, and it may not even happen. So let's see how it progresses, and then we can come back and revisit this topic when we know that the international borders are opening up and people have started internationally again.
Lalit sir, my question is there. So how safe is the Curacao for international students?
How safe?
How safe is it? Kundaji, did you on for the international students?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please.
Yeah. How safe is Curacao for international students?
Very safe. Very safe. I'm from New York, and if I know rough, New York is rough, okay? But Curacao is unbelievable. It's safe. It's very quiet surroundings. The people here are extremely friendly. And I find, I've been here for some time, I find no threats, and I find a very welcoming country.
Thank you, sir.
And if they have any problems, they come see me.
Okay.
Any question is there? So,
Sir, I think we need to speak about fee structure also.
yeah, already
Okay.
As we have covered.
I shared the screen and I have shown that fee structure. 1 second, I will take it again. And also you can explain them the
Sir,
fee.
can
That I can definitely,
Can you see this?
okay, yes. So I hope everybody can see it, and yeah. So the fee structure that we have for the Indian students, it's a subsidized fee structure. The actual fee structure for the other students is 88,200, which comes approximately 60 lakhs. But Indian students get a subsidy on it, and which is approximately 40 some percentage, which is a huge sum when if you really look at the total tuition fee. And Indian students pay that fees in 4 years, not even just once. So even if you're getting a 40% subsidy, you still pay the rest of the tuition in 4 years. You have 4 years to pay that. And the first year you pay when you apply for the visa, submit your application and you get accepted, then you pay a fee of $9,400 to apply for your visa paperwork, because that is a requirement, and we have to do a lot of paperwork for that. And we also have to make sure that you are financially stable and you're able to support your education, and all of that proof goes into your documentation when we apply for the visa. It's not for the university, it's for us to prove to the government that the students who are coming to the country are able to financially support themselves, and that's why they have been able to pay this much money to just for the visa, and they have enough funds to support their education and living on campus or in the country. And the second installment you pay when you receive your landing permit, which is landing permit is a permission for you to travel to Curacao. And of course, there is one more process that as soon as you receive landing permit, you go to the Dutch embassy in India and get your visa stamp so that you can travel, because landing permit document is in Dutch, and a lot of people do not understand Dutch. So that's why you have to have a visa stamp by the embassy so that there is no problem when you travel to Curacao. And the second year, you pay $12,850 for the entire year. And then the third year and fourth year. So there is, and sometimes I get a question that is there an extra fee for residency? Is there an extra fee for residency application? Is there an extra fee for clinical rotation? The answer is absolutely no. You only pay for the application to the third party. Let's say, for example, if you're taking the USMLE exam, that is not a school's exam. It is a requirement by the school, but you don't pay anything to the school. You directly pay to the US government, the US agency that administers the exam, or whatever they're doing to schedule your exam. The second is you don't pay anything for the clinical rotation and to go to the US, because all the tuition fee is included in this package. The third is residency. You don't pay anything to the university or anybody during the residency. You start getting paid approximately $50,000, and the total tuition for this program is $55,000. So you pretty much recover everything that you have spent in terms of tuition in the first year of residency. And the boarding lodging is 4,650 for the year. Yes, sir.
So does university provide any scholarship for Indian student?
Yes, sir. We do scholarships for Indian students, and at the time of admission, we do scholarship test, and there are other scholarships, ongoing scholarships as well. So if the students do really, really well, then yes, we do provide scholarships.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
So thank you, Lalit sir. Very well you explained. The total fee structure is $55,000 and you need to pay that into 5 installments. Whenever you get admit letter from the university, that time you have to pay 9,400. And then university will work for the immigration papers, and once you get landing permit, then the second part or second installment of the first year fees, that is 6,850, you need to pay. Along with that, you need to pay your living cost for 1 year, that is 4,650, where you will get sharing, lodging, and 2 meals, that is lunch and dinner. Along with that, you will get all the utilities like electricity, water, and internet. You don't need to pay extra for that. Again, there is a question for many students. They are asking, what about the USMLE preparation? I think USMLE preparation is also run by the university. University professors are taking care of that, and you don't need to pay anything extra for that. Am I right, Alisa?
Yes, sir.
that's
And
correct.
Dr. can explain it better because he is the one who's more involved into, the faculty meetings and the USMLE is strategizing how to prepare better for the US students. So he can explain better.
Yes, please.
Sure.
Sir.
So what we employ in every MD program relative to your subject for that MD program, we have integrated USMLE training. The training comes from the AMBOSS, which we bring into the lectures, which is an amazing resource. All of the test questions that you will have at the end of your block are all USMLE style questions. So as I was mentioning before, the strategy of answering a USMLE type question is not only identifying the right answer, but why you chose the wrong answer. And we go into a very good, deep discussion why that was a wrong choice and how to prevent you from making a wrong choice in future questions. We have a great Q bank that has a lot of USMLE style questions that is an amazing repository for the students to avail of. So everything is academically focused with a emphasis on USMLE preparation.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
One more thing, like students are asking, like if they complete master's degree, that means residency and USMLE 3, then what are the opportunities to practice in other countries like UK and USA and India? So after USMLE 3, do they need to prepare again for MCI, or they can come and practice back in India?
Okay, sir, for that, MCI recognizes PG or specialization from 5 countries: US, UK, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. If you are a practicing physician in any of these 5 countries, you do not have to take and pass any of the Indian exams. You can just come register with the Medical Council of your state and Medical Council of India and start practicing.
Similar
So you don't have to, in order to answer your question, no, you don't have to take an Indian exam if you are a licensed physician in the US.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Any other question? Kundan, can you find?
Yes, sir. There are 2 questions. First is, when do we apply for scholarships along with the application?
Well, for the scholarships, you apply after you have been accepted, or when there is a scholarship test that is conducted by one of our, of course, INTEREDWISE, you can talk to them, and we will, schedule a date for all the potential students to take this scholarship test, as soon as things are back open. And we're trying to do something online, but it's very hard to work on everything because right now, our priority is to make sure that our current students, are able to attend the lectures, and our main focus is just to make sure that our students are, getting the education that we want. Because if they're not, and we're working on just scholarship tests, then we don't want to use our efforts in other things. But yes, I mean, of course, when things are back to normal, yes, there are scholarship tests that we conduct across India, and you can take it when the dates are out, and you can talk to somebody at INTEREDWISE for that. And I think I see the second question about the weather, how often Curacao gets hit by hurricane. Being in the Caribbean, how our students get protected in those challenges. Rushali, we're outside the hurricane belt, so we don't get hit by hurricanes at all. And we don't have those.
If I must add, go ahead, please.
Sure. And I was explaining that we're outside the hurricane belt. The hurricanes are usually in the northern side, where you would hear about the other islands, West Indies islands, Grenada, and Cayman Islands, and there's a couple other islands that you must have heard about last year, St. Kitts or some other island, but we're in the southern side, so we're way down in the Caribbean Sea that we don't really get hit by those hurricanes.
Yeah, I want to add there, the weather here is what they classify as semi-arid. So there's a lot of cacti on the island. So the weather is similar to that of Arizona. We rarely get rain. If it rains, it's very brief. There's always a beautiful breeze that crosses the island. So even though it's hot, it may be 95, 98 degrees, at least you get some reprieve by a beautiful breeze. But the rain levels are very, very low. And there's no hurricanes, as Lalit mentioned. I think the last hurricane, Lalit, was in the 60s.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
Way before I was born.
Yeah, as far as scholarship tests are concerned, yes, yesterday last year we conducted scholarship tests in different cities like Nashik, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, even Karnataka, Bangalore. So yes, once we receive the application, and depends on the number of students. If there are 20 students in that particular city, then we can arrange in the same office or nearest office, branch office, and we do video recording and we send to the university, and based on that only they will do the evaluation and they declare scholarship for the students. This year also, once we receive the application, after that, according to the number of the applications, we'll declare centers and accordingly we'll conduct scholarship examination after lockdown period. Ram sir, anything else we need to cover or everything is covered?
I think, sir, everything is covered now.
Amol, please go ahead with vote of thanks. Dr. Barata is there. It's like a very great personality is with us today. Thank you, sir, being with us.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Our counselor and development officer, Amol, he will take the charge of this session now. Amol, please go ahead.
Yes, sure. So I thank you, Dr. Barata, for this wonderful session. And believe me, it was fantastic, to understand from you the ground realities and for the St. Martinus University, the uniqueness about the program and how you cater to that, what type of technologies and everything is used. So it was an amazing session from you, and I'm very sure that all the participants and attendees today were enlightened by the knowledge you have provided to them. You have covered all the aspects, sir, with regards to the admission requirement, the tuition fees, the living things, and the type of facilities, as well as the career opportunities for the students. So on behalf of our company, I thank you very much, and I look forward for such wonderful sessions from you, sir, in days to come, because I'm very sure that today those who have attended the session, they'll go back and they will definitely tell others, and very soon our company will get called for the next session from your university, that's the St. Martinus University from Curacao. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time, and I thank all the panelists as well from behalf of the company.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lalit sir, as well. Lalit sir.
Yes. Yes, Lalit sir, I'm so sorry to forgot I forgot your name. Please, but I definitely look forward for more such sessions from you, and it was a dynamic power pack session from your end as well. So thank you very much, Lalit sir, and I look forward for more such sessions from your end as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Lalit, see you soon in Akola.
Thank you, Ram sir. It was very